Roll dice, be nice, and stay tuned. This is the Live to Die podcast.
You know what I love?
What do you love?
Horror movies and dread-inducing scenarios, like something walking on the river with its skin peeling off at you.
Yeah.
Well, that's something you should check out about yourself, I think.
Yeah.
What's your
Lots
favorite-
to unpack there.
What's your favorite horror movie?
I'm not a horror movie person, is the thing.
Okay.
Big fan of the Babadook.
Ooh,
Mm.
Baba Shook.
And probably Poltergeist.
Classic for a reason.
Yeah, those two are pretty sweet.
Jane, do you have a favorite horror movie?
I don't really like horror movies, period.
Okay.
I would say that there's some movies that I guess could fall into that genre that I really like.
Okay. Such as?
Ready or Not is a more recent one, which was really
good.
fun. Also, I think Jaws could
100%,
classify
yeah.
as a horror movie. And I think Jaws is like one of the best movies ever made.
Okay. Jared, you like any horror?
I don't watch much horror. I'm trying to think of like the last horror movie I watched. What's the one? The Conjuring, is that?
Oh, yeah. Those are
We
good.
just watched The
I
Conjuring.
think
That
the
was pretty
first one is the one that I've seen, and I liked it more than I thought I would.
good. Yeah, same.
I don't like horror movies, but I like monster movies,
Yeah, monster movies are cool.
which somehow feel different to me than a lot of horror movies.
What about some of the shows like Bly Manor and...
Okay, so I
Hill
just
House.
watched Follow the House of Usher.
Yeah.
And I've never seen Bly Manor or Hill House or Midnight Mass, but a couple of people, including Ryan, have recommended Hill House as like,
we were
oh, it's
going off about it
fantastic.
last time we were here.
Well, yeah, this brings me to my point about Jason about this, because Ryan was like, oh, it's so much better than House of Usher. Like, you would love it. You should watch it. And he was like, and I said, I don't know. I've heard it's pretty scary. And he was like, no, Jason, like, it wasn't that scary, right? And Jason was like, no, it was fine. Except for there was one part where I was screaming out loud in my house because I was so scared. And there was one thing that was like the most terrifying thing I've ever seen. And I was like, maybe
It's not scary.
Yeah.
Cool.
But it did just get voted by some, I think it was like Esquire or some shit like that, as it being the best Netflix show that Netflix has ever put out.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I like Stephen King stuff too.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's kind of like horror monsters, but like make it fun.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to keep this nice and short. I think Trent has just said that he doesn't like horror.
Yeah, not really. I mean, I've watched some, but like to me, and I know the film guy is going to be pissed about this, but like to me, it's also formulaic that like we already know
I am going to be
how this ends. You know, it's like it just doesn't. I don't know.
Jason's
It doesn't.
seething.
I don't get it.
I mean, I'm
in a
not going
way.
to say I disagree with him,
Yeah.
but I do.
Well, that's a really good point, though. Trent, how do you think this shape walking towards you on the moving river is going to end?
I think it wants to come ask us a question because I've played the video game before.
It'll be like, answer my riddles 3.
I
weight of
do
an unladen
kind of
swallow.
remember this part, but I don't remember, like, yeah. I think this is not a fight, but that's all I remember.
We'll see.
What does everyone else think?
Just
You haven't cheated and played the game.
Yeah, you certainly made it sound like we got a fight coming.
assumed it was a fight.
Yeah.
The
I
idea
would
that
be
there's
very relieved if it wasn't.
an undead monster walking on the water is probably Arthur and
Yeah.
Nikolai are like, that's
Coming
not
up
great.
to a night of Last Wall is not a good idea for this poor undead.
Yeah, that's a bold life decision.
Unlife decision.
unlife decision.
Hey.
I would really love
Patch?
to end an episode. I would love to end an episode where Ari isn't in immediate precarious danger.
Be nicer to your friends.
You're still mad about that. That was 4 weeks ago now, Jason.
Yeah, at this point, based on either snark or danger, I think Ari and Lucky are both really advocating for some main character vibes at this point.
Yeah.
Through either snark factor or has ended episodes in danger factor. Mm-hmm. Two of you are really sharing lead billing. So let's cut back. I'm not going to play the describe tune because I feel like that would take away from the tension. But how would you all feel about being willing to describe this.
Oh no.
Hair. Go with hair.
Okay, gotta do. Okay, that hair.
Wait,
11 of 10.
Yeah, I
11 of 10.
agree. I
Now,
agree.
Start from the top. Describe this. What
Purple.
are the players see? What are you, the players, seeing?
Purple
I
emo
don't
hair.
know.
But
on
it's
a,
like long.
This is a zombie.
Is this a human?
on a jacked zombie humanoid character.
Okay.
Yeah. It also, for some reason, is still wearing capris.
Yeah,
And-
like denim capris.
It's standard, like, I once was alive and now I'm dead pants.
And has a harpoon.
A harpoon.
It did
and
come
then,
out of the
like,
water.
It's a harpoon.
What is
Yeah.
that in his other hand? It looks like there's
A sickle?
into the side of the
No, that's
book.
just illustrations
okay.
on the book.
Oh,
And
okay.
he doesn't have that weapon in his hands. You just see this figure sort of break out of the water. And you can like see, as Jason said, it maybe looks a little jacked, but part of that I think is the idea of like, it's the few ropey muscles that the fat hasn't gone away yet. And you can see the ribs from it, the like sallow face where parts of the skin have just like left.
And there's just long purple hair hanging down one side.
Yeah, it is like weirdly discolored hair.
Get behind me, child.
Yes. And so he sort of starts walking.
Ari just like looks at Arthur
I start running.
like, you're literally younger than me.
And so you have the horses and are on the wrong side of the river, Jason.
Looks like you're
Right.
on the wrong side
I
of the
thought I was like
river.
running down towards closer to where Lucky was. Like I walked
Yeah,
away
yeah.
a little bit.
I would legitimately
Yeah.
tell it, halt.
And it stops. It stares at you across the river.
I didn't think that would work, to be quite honest.
What?
It's in the middle.
What
You can hear us
is-
both if we yell.
Yeah.
What are you?
And he's just staring at Arthur.
Is a friend of yours?
Rung the bell.
That is true. I did ring the bell.
Oh, God.
You are not my tormentor. And it's like doing whatever it can to move any oxygen out of like collapsed, gurgling lungs to try to make these words.
Come closer. I'm having a hard time hearing you.
He stays. in
Who
the
is your
middle of the river.
tormentor?
Bring me the Stag Lord's body.
Why?
Cast him into the river, that I may look upon his face in death, or join me.
Or join me.
Us join you?
It's unspecific.
Can I roll
thanks.
something?
Yeah, you want to just recall knowledge?
Can I roll undead lore?
Fuck yeah, what's your
Cool.
bonus here?
It's a good question.
You ghoul.
It's about +5.
Okay, +5. Sure. So because this is a very specific lore, so this is a rotting body. It is an undead of some kind, but it seems to be somewhat intelligent. You don't know exactly what it is, but it's some sort of creature motivated by wrath,
Yeah.
by vengeance.
Yeah.
And your guess is that like it is one of those where like if its plight is resolved, it will part from this world, is being
Kind of
held
like the
here.
Banshees from last game. Or from,
Yeah, but those are specifically elves.
Elves, right. But the same idea of like, I'm in a curse, but if you break it, I might be able to leave.
Except that like this thing isn't cursed. It's its own like its bitter, vindictive want of violence, want of revenge is keeping its soul attached to its body.
Who are you?
I am Davik Nettles.
Oh,
Bring
it's a fairy.
me his body. Cast it anywhere into my river, and I shall find it.
If you allow us, and he points at Lucky, to cross the river safely, we will do what you say.
I have no ferry or no bridge. I have only the want for his death. Bring it to me, or join me in death.
How did the Stag Lord torment you?
And his body just starts sinking into the river. But you do get a look
Is
at
there
it.
a better
and
way to cross?
his body is covered in burn scars. What's
Oh,
left of it, like
jeez.
Oh, he
soggy
burned him in the
burn
building.
scars.
What the fuck?
what an asshole.
In
Let's fuck this guy
Ragathiel's
up.
name, I will grant you your vengeance.
Oh shit! All right, you have now taken an oath of vengeance. I'm going to keep that in mind for some of your edicts and anathemas.
Hell yeah.
So is he saying that he's gonna come up and kill us if we don't bring him the Stag Lord?
It does seem to somewhat hint that, yeah.
It's implied.
I think it's idle threats. He seems stuck to this river.
You do receive another quest, Davik's Revenge.
All right.
It's optional side quest.
Davik Nettles, is that what you said?
Yep, because it's Nettles Crossing.
What did you do to your hair?
He's gone.
How did you get it that cool?
It takes a long time to bleach it to like white hair.
Say that would take forever and be so expensive.
I know everyone got really into it after Game of Thrones, but like it's a whole thing to maintain hair this color.
I think we're climbing back across and being like, guys, that was crazy.
I think it would be freaking terrifying to crawl across this river on a rope after that happening.
So go ahead and give me climb checks.
I'm not climbing. So
or athletics checks.
So while you're doing it,
Nikolai has
tell
an
us.
arrow drawn.
Yep. Yeah. I got a 27 again. I rolled the
Crit
exact
success.
same
Nice.
thing.
I got a 14.
A failure, but not a critical failure. As you're going across, one of your legs slips off. Give me another check. You don't make it all the way across.
My leg. It's the armor. It's so clean. It makes me slip off the
There's
rope.
no purchase on the
God,
rope.
that's not much better. That's a 16.
That's fine. You make it. You get across. It's night now. The sun has set. And I will say, aside from the horrifying undead thing that just crawled its way onto the water, it's oddly beautiful here. The moon has come up from the mountains to the east, and it's glinting off of this river, working and winding its way across these rolling fields.
When the moon is in the Nettles house and
Exactly.
Jupiter aligns with Farch.
Farge. You know, we're almost out of Farge. I'm really
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
What is
I
the
don't remember the next
Galarian April? I'm gonna have to look that up.
Galarian March is not Farch.
It's Faraz.
It is now.
You know, we're just gonna look up Pathfinder calendar. Let's see.
I
here.
think Ari is traumatized by that because that was scary.
Ah, your first encounter with the undead.
Oh yeah, is it?
Yeah.
Yes, they are quite disturbing. I have made it my goal in life to rid them of this area.
Great. Good.
It's very important, you see.
She just is like,
Where are you going?
Yeah, totally. Bye.
Gozrin. April is Gozrin after Gozrin.
That's right. What?
Ooh.
How should we cross the river?
You know that there's a shallowish part.
We have to go to the shallowish part.
Should we wait till morning?
That's probably a good idea.
Yeah, it's about 25 miles from here to the southwest.
Jeez.
You have to follow the river. You'll go right. You actually go right by the Soot Scales Cavern.
Okay.
You could. It would be pushing into the night a little bit, but you could make it to the Soot Scales Cavern tonight if you.
Nah.
Yeah. Okay.
Walking at night is not a good idea. We could be trailed by something and not know it.
Sure. So you'll make. Are you gonna go make camp somewhere else? Or you're gonna make camp on the river edge here.
I say right here.
Yeah, sure.
But I also think that it would be like extremely unsettling.
Sure.
I
Okay.
have sworn that he will have his vengeance. I think he is sated.
Time will tell.
So you rest. You make it through the evening. Do you prepare any special meal? Or
Yeah.
not
Yeah,
tonight?
Nikolai, go fishing in the river.
Fish on
Yeah,
a stick.
fish on a stick.
You do have give me a subsist roll here to get enough special ingredients to get fish from the river.
Super.
Retrained to take forager.
My favorite.
Ooh. Oh, so that you hunting would have been you retraining, focusing on foraging.
I got a natural
yes.
19.
Cool.
So that's going to crit. Success.
So yeah, you'll have enough supplies. Give me a survival check. Or do you have cooking lore yet?
Not yet.
Okay. Give me a survival check to cook squirrel on a stick. Fish is the squirrel of the sea.
Of course.
Famously so.
I don't want to poison anybody.
River, though.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Turning that patch in. Let me
20.
go over and check.
Hey.
What's the DC for this? Weather, camping, fish on a stick is what I hear.
Or
Yeah,
squirrel.
fish
Or
on a
both.
stick.
Or both.
Okay,
Yeah, little squirrel, little fish.
You
Surf and turf.
succeed.
Kebabs.
So everyone for the next day, you're going to be able to go longer without fatigue, which probably is helpful because I'm guessing that Ari doesn't get as much sleep tonight, sleeping near the undead river.
Probably a good
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah, Jane, what do you think? Do you get as much sleep
No,
tonight? Okay.
absolutely not.
You take first watch then?
And
Yeah, I'll
then,
take the first watch.
Trent, because you only need to sleep 7 hours tonight because fish on a stick is your favorite meal.
Yes.
Which I fucking love.
I will take the first watch.
Ari was taking first watch.
Oh, I will take the second watch.
All right. You make it through the
I'll
night.
do last.
Sure.
What did you see? And not see?
Yeah, always something.
That's always you.
Always something.
You did feel like you
saw.
heard something moving in the river, but maybe it was just playing tricks on your eyes. So you work your way, you follow the river, you follow it down southwest, you curve around the soot scale cavern. You keep going. What I will say is, as you're moving your way along the river, at one point you do... Nikolai's still the most perceptive. Nikolai, you do pick out something kind of interesting during the morning part of your travel. So not directly across, almost directly across from when you wake up in the morning as you're going down south of the crossing, south of, well, where the ferry isn't anymore. You do see something that sticks out to you. It's something that looks a little odd in the terrain. You don't know exactly what it is, but from the distance it does look like an odd hill that maybe shouldn't be there. It is on that south side of the river.
Which is the side we're on, right?
No, you're on the north
We're
side.
on the north side. Okay.
Yeah, so there's like a weird mound. Like it's like a hill that looks sort of a little unnaturally like angular and not very high on the south side of the river.
Is there anywhere to cross right here? Well, I guess how far away is the hill? Ish.
So at one point you'll be able to see that it's sort of like an odd hill. The closest you'll probably ever make it, staying on the north side of the river, is like 2 or 3 miles.
Okay, I'll just note it on our map.
Like if you wanted to take a break here, a couple of you could try to. You would have to like leave the horses behind, but you could try to swim the river and go check it out. But otherwise, yeah, you'll just need to kind of come back later.
Yeah,
Nah.
thank you.
I can't swim.
Ari's
Yeah,
not
me
getting anywhere near
Swimming is
into a
athletics.
river as long as there's a giant undead skeleton in it.
You're quite the scaredy cat. For a
Okay,
Caden
she's
Kaylee.
never seen an undead before.
Can you imagine how unnerving that would be the first
Oh,
time
yeah.
seeing?
Fair.
Or any time.
Especially just like crawling up the water.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
standing on top of the water.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of imagine it being a little bit like The Grudge or The Ring, but like
Yeah, I
instead of
feel
out
like
of the
all of
TV,
you really
like,
glossed
onto the
over
water.
what just happened here.
Jane can be scared. Ari cannot.
Oh yeah, I've seen lots of undead. It's no big deal.
It happens.
This one time in Last Wall.
Yeah.
So if you want to know where that is in the map at some point in the future, just tell me the like angular mound.
Angular mound. Okay.
Yeah, the weird mound. So you follow it. You're able to make it. It's most of a day's travel because you don't have a road. Maybe it's a little faster because you're kind of near a riverbank. But you make it to this sort of shallow area that Orlog's like, look, it's not a first choice. Ferries are the way to go.
We should buy a canoe for the future.
Yeah,
Okay.
We have a wagon.
That's not the
we
boat.
can put the boat in the wagon.
and
Well,
so
yeah, but I'm saying like we still need a ferry to get our wagon across.
That's true.
Have you never played Oregon Trail?
No, I don't know what video games are.
What is this Oregon?
So you make it to this section where the river splits, and a part of it goes north into the woods near this is the Thorn River, the Thorn River Bandits, and a part splits off south to that lake near the Stag Lord's fort.
That's the one.
All right, give me a survival check to look at this ford and sort of the best way across. One of you. So Jason roll.
I'll try and aid.
Sure, yeah, go for the aid.
Nope, I didn't aid.
All right,
Yeah.
did you critically fail?
No, I got an 11.
Okay, yeah, you're fine.
I got a 14.
It looks like it's probably a pretty good place to ford. You're not 100% sure how deep parts of it are, but you think it does look pretty shallow most of the way here.
Well, let's try it out. Looks good enough.
All right, someone's going to need to give
Terrain.
me a nature check to handle animals, especially for the wagon beasts across the river. Everyone else
Well,
can
shouldn't
do
be
their
me.
best to get the horses across, but to get the wagon across with the horses is going to be more difficult.
try.
Can I aid, Nikolai?
Yeah, there you
Sure. If you have to be at least, I'm going to say you have to be at least trained in nature to aid.
I am.
Okay, then yes, you can. So go ahead and roll that aid, Jane. Roll that aid, Ari.
21.
Hey, that's a success. That's an aid. So
I
you got a
rolled
plus 1. What do you got?
24.
With the plus 1?
Yeah.
All right.
Just
You work
petting
your way
the
across it.
drummer.
At no point in your crossing, at least on the path you found, does it seem to be deeper than about 3 feet at
Nice.
this point. Now, you know other parts of the river are very deep. You work your way across the river, And I will say, Arthur, you keep swearing out of the corner of your eye like you see a figure silhouetted on the river. Only when you're not looking do you like see the silhouette of a figure on the river.
Ugh.
So he's just like, he knows.
Maybe. All right, you cross it, and kind of based on... Are any of you working on making a map, you think?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So based on sort of the map that you begin to roughly sketch out, you think it's about another 35 miles to where you expect the Stag Lord's fort to be.
It's another day and a half.
No, by horse, that's a day.
Oh, okay. That's a day.
Yeah,
Okay.
because on road, you can do 4 hexes with the
Okay. I was
horses.
thinking 2
Without
hexes.
roads. Yeah, without roads, you can do 2 hexes in a
Okay.
day on a horse. On
Got
foot, 1 hex.
Gotcha.
Because the horses are faster. So when do you want to arrive? I'll say that right now it's like you're sort of crossing this once again at like sunset. So if you sleep through the night, you can make it there tomorrow afternoon
I think we should,
or tomorrow evening easily.
if we're going to like ambush this place,
Yeah.
we should do it at like 4 a.m.
Yeah, I was thinking like early.
Yeah.
Early.
Like just as the light is beginning to
I think.
rise.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So you'll make a camp for another evening. It's the same sort
And
of
maybe
deal.
we can maybe we can leave some of our stuff over here. You know, like, I don't know that I want all of our stuff to get absorbed by the Stag Lord.
Well,
So
I
maybe
mean-
we can like hide. We have to take the booze and stuff,
Yeah.
but we can work on like poisoning that tonight. And then,
You still have a whole day's travel to even get there tomorrow afternoon.
yeah, I'm just saying like once we get there, like maybe we can
Sure,
actually hide
sure.
the majority of our things.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, we probably could have left some at the outpost too.
Yeah.
Like things that we didn't really need on hand.
Jason, you've still got plenty of fish. You want to give me another survival check for fish on a stick?
Yeah.
You're
Oh,
making more fish on a
This
stick?
makes me so happy. I feel such joy.
21.
21? Yep. Same thing. You all can go a little bit longer and you need a little less sleep.
Sweet.
All right. You travel through the day. I can't imagine, like, how are all your characters feeling, like, heading towards this? I mean, like, you've heard a lot, but you've heard the horror stories of, like, he's not even a man. You've seen the literal, like, remnants of people he's killed.
Yeah. Arya's full of dread, especially after that undead encounter.
Sure.
Oh, Arthur very much sees this as like, okay, my time here is about to culminate. This is probably, once this is accomplished, I go back and then I head back to the last wall.
All right.
I think Lucky's kind of pushing down any feelings and emotions about any of it. And is just, convinced himself that everything can die. So the Stag Lord's no different. Let's just get it. Let's get it done.
This seems like probably the biggest fight that Nikolai's ever been a part of, for sure. So there's a nervousness, but he's praying and maybe reading through some tomes as he's there to kind of like bolster his faith and believe that Erastel's sending him on this quest for a purpose.
And so you head out, make it another day, afternoon of this additional day. So now it has been 4 days to get over there, 2 days to get here. So it's been 6 days since you left Olag. So I don't know if any of you are folks who miss it, but it's been a while since you've had a bed that isn't on the ground or a meal you didn't have to cook yourself. But you get there and you can see right where some of the woods end, because like this is a lot of plains, but there's still a lot of like plenty of like copses of trees. Copse, is that right?
Copse.
I always get that fucking wrong. There's some copse of trees, but I'll say that you get to a point where it's about 300 feet. You get to the edge of like a copse of trees, and it's 300 feet up a 30-foot wide path, winding up hard-packed earth of a hillside to this sort of fort. And I have a little illustration that's in the book. It's sort of rough. I think it's meant to give GMs like sort of a basic idea of how some things are laid out in terms of verticality. But I think it gives you a good context of like scale. You see this fort on top of a hill about 300 feet away.
Okay.
How bold of them to fly banners.
Yeah. So you can see that there's like a wooden palisade, like high wooden walls, a couple of towers, an older stone building. And you see like part of that stone building maybe doesn't look like it's all there. I mean, parts of it has collapsed. But you can see a few of these towers that stick up behind this spiky wooden palisade surrounding it. And you can see what I said though, like when I say fort, it's not like, oh yes, a large complex. It's like a house with a small yard with a small fence around its yard.
Mm-hmm.
And you see a single path leading up from the north, heading south towards it. And then on kind of all other sides, it's just hard-packed earth with maybe some rock, some medium-sized boulders or stones in the hard-packed earth. And to the south of that, the lake.
Should we prepare our ruse?
I'd say so.
Yep. Throw on some amulets.
Beat him up a little bit.
Put me in not actually secured manacles.
Right.
So
Should we wear the amulets or should we be like,
They wear them, right?
Yeah.
The bandits
They
that
do.
we
Do you think
met.
we should
every
try to
bandit
just-
you've encountered?
should we just try to blend in or should we be like, we're here to join you? Because I
I
feel like
think-
they might be like, you guys weren't here before.
Try to get it. You can try to join.
Because it's pretty small.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think you should put on the amulets.
Yeah. We'll put the amulets on.
Okay.
Just be like, yeah, we've just been out, stagging. We've just changed a lot.
Do you remember the name of the lieutenant that you killed at the Thorn River camp?
The lady.
Mm-hmm. The twin axe lady.
Oh, yeah.
I just remember the axes.
Yeah,
Cressel?
Cressel.
maybe.
I think it is Cressel.
Yeah.
The woman who, is this one woman who killed Biff?
No,
that's a
it's
different
the other
axe
one.
lady.
Okay, good.
Different axe bandit.
There
I
were
think
two
it is
two axe
Cressel.
ladies.
All right. So who's going to be bound?
Nikolai.
Nikolai
Arthur.
and Arthur.
Yeah.
All right. Who's going to tie the knots?
Can we?
What skill is that?
I'm going to say survival or a relevant lore.
Can I tie like a faux knot,
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like tying
Yeah.
knots that look
can
good
you
but
tie
come
your
off.
own?
or at least help? Show
I'll
you
do
how to-
I'll do
or
a survival
his-
to do that on both
Okay.
of them, where it's like something that looks tight, but they can just easily be like,
All right, roll survival for me. Actually, you know what? This will be a secret check. You're not going to know until the moment
Can
if
I
the
aid
knots are
him
good
and
enough.
see if?
Your aid can be public, and then we're going
Okay.
to do Jane's check and see. Jane, give me your die to roll for you.
this is your doing.
Yep.
I want everyone to know.
23.
23. Okay, that's a success. What's your bonus, Jane?
5
Okay.
plus, well, 6.
Plus, yeah, okay. Sure. So you tie the knots. You get them on there. How are Lucky and Ari, what are you doing to make yourself? You're putting the amulets on. You doing anything else?
Yeah, I think that we will also rough ourselves up to look however a lot of the bandits we've intercepted look.
Punch yourself in
Sure.
the face a little
Okay,
bit.
I'll throw up
Yeah.
like a face bandana situation.
Punch
Nice.
me in the nose.
Gladly.
Do you even say that or do you just do
Ba-boom.
it? Okay. So you say gladly and you just
Ari
punch.
just looks at Arthur and is like,
Try it.
she's gonna punch him.
roll an attack roll.
Lucky didn't have to roll an
I
attack
was
roll.
standing there and told
Because
him to do
Nikolai
it.
asked for it.
I was literally asking for it.
22.
What's your AC, Trent?
That's a hit.
Okay. So each of you, Lucky and
He's tied up.
Jane,
I'm gonna
each
do a
roll
coup de grace.
a D. No, that doesn't exist. A D4 plus your strength modifier. And we're going to say that this is non-lethal. It heals at a rate of 1 per hour. So 3 damage. Lucky does 3 damage to Nikolai,
2.
and Ari does 2 damage to Arthur.
I'm going to mark that.
Yeah, please do. You
The
heals,
dex-
heals at a
the
rate
dex
of 1 per
characters.
hour.
Punching people.
All right. So then,
Nikolai spits out a bunch of blood and he's like,
so what? So you guys, you have the choice here. You could approach the fort at the end of the 6th day of your journey, or you could stay overnight in the woods, sort of like in these woods, and then come in the morning of the 7th day.
I mean, I think we should go when there's some light because just in case there's an encounter, then we have to be able to see.
we might find
Yeah.
him half drunk and hungover as well.
So maybe like first light, we just go.
Okay. So you spend the night. You get ready. You punching people in the face.
Yep.
And
You
if
tie
there was
'em up.
anything
I
we had
poison-
from any of the other bandits, like cloaks or jackets or anything,
Sure.
like
I
wear
poisoned
that.
some of the
Okay.
bottles.
How many? So there was originally 12 bottles. You took, and you've been working on one. So you have 11 bottles left.
Okay.
How many do you poison?
10. One got made into a
How many
cocktail.
can I
Oh, no,
have?
that was just some of her extra
Oh, okay.
alcohol.
I only have 2 doses of the
Some of your pocket alcohol.
giant centipede.
So you could say, I'm going to say for these bottles, that's maybe only 1 bottle.
Okay.
So we'll just take the 1 bottle. We'll be like, this is all we found. The rest is gone.
Okay.
Okay.
But we have
I-
other supplies that we can.
Take
I
take
need
a couple
someone-
and drink them.
I
And
need
carry
someone
the- on the empty one.
Sorry.
No, they will
Yeah,
be
me too.
mad that we didn't give them the other ones if we drank them.
What's up, Trent?
I do
fair.
need someone to carry my bastard sword and my shield in.
Oh, yeah. They said that they'd like be carrying supplies. So
Well-
what supplies do you still have that you didn't give back to Oleg?
Okay. Hold on. I got to pull up
Shit.
the thing.
All right.
The
So while
list.
you're looking that up, the 2 of you start escorting your quote unquote prisoners 30-foot wide path, 300 feet. As you're working your way up towards this fort, you can see on this northern side, there's 2 watchtowers that sort of stick up and over the palisade. Let's go ahead and before I start really breaking into some stuff, let's talk about exploration modes. You're kind of doing some unique stuff. So who's doing what in your exploration modes?
Ari's perceiving around.
You're not trying to you're not pretending to be a bandit.
Is that
Ooh,
something I have to
deception.
do specifically?
I'm gonna say yeah, probably like playing a role, playing a bit.
Okay, can I do performance instead then?
This will be a deception check.
But I'm performing so well as a bandit.
I mean, at some point, if you need to put on a show, tell a story well.
I am a bandit. I'm a bandit.
That's what I'm doing. I'm going,
gonna do a
I am a
musical.
bandit.
So we're looking for a deception.
Okay.
Now, the prisoners, you don't really need to be putting on too many airs, so you are kind of a little free to be doing something else with your exploration if you want.
I'm like looking for trouble that comes running up so I can be like, if they're. Watch
Yeah,
out.
yeah. I want to be scouting as
Yeah,
well.
scout,
Basically,
yeah.
like
Do
counting.
you want to both be scouting, or do one of you want to be scouting and one of you want to be like looking for other details?
I can search.
I'll scout.
Trent, what's your perception?
B +6.
Okay. For no reason.
-4.
+6. Okay. All right. Yeah, you're all walking up. Jared's checking the party inventory,
Yeah. So
And
there's a number of things that we could.
but you do
Go on
have
there.
trade goods that you're willing to potentially part with.
Yeah. We have rations. We have some armor. We have. I think we just throw we got tridents and darts and short swords from the kobolds that
Bastard swords and
we
longbows.
can keep up there.
Take my
Okay.
bastard
There's-
sword.
There's stuff, and
So,
there's
so you have
I-
you have like arms and armor. You don't have trade goods anymore, but you have arms and armor.
we have rations too, but
Okay.
yeah, we don't have the furs. I give the furs and stuff to.
Okay.
I think our story should be that we took out Cressel and these 2 were part of her group. And we're like bringing them as an
We
offering.
Took out Cressel?
Yeah. To be like,
But wouldn't that
Cressel-
make them
Cressel.
mad?
Cressel was weak. We took these guys out.
What if
Here
we
you go.
tried to attack Cressel and
Yeah, what-
she died?
Right.
Yeah, these guys, we were with Cressel. These guys attacked. We took them down and like brought them in for you.
Yeah. I like that.
All right. So here's the deal. I'm going to need. Are either of you an expert in deception?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, you deceiving bastard.
So
Lucky can take
what I'll
the
say is,
lead.
Jane, are you trained in deception?
No.
Oh.
But with Lucky being
retrained it.
expert, Jane, you can
Follow
follow
the
the
ex-
expert. Oh, did you take that week to retrain?
Mhm.
Nice.
See, this is, and I want to call this out because this is one of the reasons I love retraining if you have like a week or two, because when you're lower level, the idea that like if you know you're going into this environment and it's something that you think like can fit your class build, the idea that Lucky's like, we're infiltrating it, practicing lying, like
Yeah.
getting settling in, exploring the headspace. So here's what I'm going to say.
I was just gaslighting knock the whole time.
So, Jared, go ahead, take this this Colorado patch because I think
cool.
that's a
Hey.
really cool, like Lucky preparing, and because you even talked about being a little more erudite, like as a mastermind rogue, the idea
Right.
of seeing something, preparing for it, learning the skills. So, Jane, you'll get to follow the expert,
Woo.
which I'm horrible at knowing how to do. And let's
Me
see if that's
too.
changed in Player Core, the remaster.
Yeah.
A, B, C, D, E, F. Does anyone else have to still do the alphabet sometimes?
All the time, dude.
I'm really glad
Definitely
it's
the
not just me.
elemental P, QRST area is like,
It's a little rough.
Gets a little hazy.
yeah.
All right, so here we go. So Jane, you and Jared will be making deception checks for me actively, which is pretty fun. Choosing an ally, attempt a reoccurring skill check while exploring, such as climbing, performing, or a different exploration tactic. I'm going to say deceiving. The ally must at least be an expert in that skill and willing to provide assistance. While an expert, you must master their tactic or attempt a similar skill check. So here you go. You're going to add your level as a proficiency bonus to this. Additionally, you're getting a circumstance bonus to your skill check based on your ally's proficiency. So Jane, you'll gain your charisma plus your level plus 2 from getting assistance from Lucky. Lucky, I'll also need a deception check from you to be a bandit, pretending to be bandities.
Charisma plus my level plus what?
2.
2. Okay. Sweet.
All right, let's go ahead and roll those. Let's do some open checks. You don't have to play along. If you roll low, you're already committed to this.
Patch.
Oh.
Jane's gonna roll and I hope it's good.
But it's probably not gonna be.
Much
You
better.
know what? Suck it, Trent.
Yep.
Jared, how you doing?
I rolled an 18 for 27.
Hey.
Jesus
And a
fuck.
23 for Ari.
Okay. So the two of you are walking up, and eventually there's you hear a voice from someone in the northeast tower. Who goes there? What you got?
By the bloody bones of St. Gilmore, who wants to know?
Fuck. Isles. It's Isles. Isles wants to know. Hey, you know the fucking code, but who the fuck are you?
No. Well,
Sorry, he's like, look, you know the code, but I still don't know who the fuck you are. Man, he sort of like whistles once or twice. And you hear a couple people start to move around. Come closer. You don't have to yell from halfway off the bloody hill. What's going on?
we were with Cressel. She was, taken down.
And who are the party guests with you?
And Ari will like shove Arthur down on the ground in front of her.
And so you guys are sort of, I imagine now, up at the sort of the top of the hill. This is like a large gate in front of you.
This is the best day of Ari's life.
And what have you brought them here for?
They were some of the people who attacked us, and we
Right.
took them and we've brought them here as a gift.
For me, you probably shouldn't have.
For you?
Oh God, what's it gonna do to me?
Jesus. I swear the new recruits have no sense of humor. Fine. I'll open the gates. Do you have anything else, or just party guests and news of how you had your ass kicked?
Yeah, we got some stuff.
We have some goods.
We'll show you.
All right, that's fine.
Didn't get our asses kicked as bad as Cressel.
What happened to her?
She's dead.
Well, shit. That happened one day. And so you see him, he kind of leaves, just give it a minute, we'll get the doors, and walks away. To the northwest, you hear him sort of call out as he heads down, calls out to the northwestern tower. I'm jumping around trying to find all my notes on the, like, every single person inside this place. Just says, like, Falgrim, keep watch. Make sure no one sneaks up on us when we open the doors. There's folks out there taking down, and kind of mumbles gets away. It's a couple minutes later. You hear quite a few voices, and the gate begins to like. You can hear like several people straining as they drag this gate sort of laterally open in order to create space. And you kind of get a look now at a small dusty courtyard. You can see that there's like. That's really all there is separating the palisade from these inner structures. Maybe it was once sort of a single fort, but over years has fallen apart. And so now you have a main stone building with these watchtowers, sort of ramshackly made walkways and platforms 20 feet up in the air above you, connecting the watchtowers to the roof of the main stone center building, the watchtowers to each other, and stairs. The ground here is hard-packed and barren earth. You can see there's a couple of barrels on the inner wall of the palisade with wooden or metal buckets nearby. There's not a whole lot of space. Like once you've come in from you at the palisade to the main front doors of the stone building is 15 feet. It's pretty wide though. It's 70, 80 feet wide, but like around the edge of the building, there's some areas there's maybe only 5 feet between the palisade and the building inside of it. You see the man who let you in, who's relatively soft-spoken, and a few others who are starting to file out from inside of the main stone building when the doors here are opening. Yeah.
About how many people would you say?
So you saw 3 watchtowers. You know there's at least people in the 2 northern watchtowers. And then as you is that? And then you see 4 bandits, 4 other figures coming out of the main building. So at this point you've clocked 6 people in total.
Okay.
The door is open and kind of like, what have you got here? What's you know what? Looks over one of the men. Go get number 2. And you see one of the men like run off and kind of run back into the building. Sorry, it's nothing personal. You have the right codes, but I don't know who the fuck you are.
Who does number 2 work for?
Dude, yeah.
I thought it too.
And so there's a couple of all bandits there. Everyone's got like hands on swords casually, but like everyone's got hands on the pommels of weapons.
Well, we
and they're
worked with
looking around.
Cressel, and she told us to come back here when she knew that the camp we were at was getting attacked. She was
So you
killed
left
in
her
the...
to die.
No, we fought with her, but she died because she was kind of weak and lame.
Yeah.
And he kind of gives you an odd eye. So the man that you're talking to, let me see if I have a little more of it
Is
information.
Cressel's husband.
It's Mr. Cressel.
It's Mr. Cressel to you. So you kind of picked up, his name seems to be Isles. He's
Isles.
Oh. Where's
relatively
Rizzoli?
soft-spoken man. His demeanor has been calm for the most part. The others that you see come out, I'm going to tell you names just so because I don't have physical descriptions for all of them. The other folks that come out, and I'll kind of run you through what you pick up on them, is Kreger, Topper, Backhanded Jeb, and Nori.
All right.
Oh, backhanded Jeb.
I like the idea that everything Jeb says is just like a backhanded compliment.
Right.
Like,
And as a matter of fact, Isles, I think, will even sort of say, like, well, I haven't had the pleasure. I'm Isles. Who are you? What's it?
Victor.
Victor?
Fig.
Fig. Right. Well, over here, what did I say?
My name is Arthur.
You're gagged.
This is Nori, and you see Nori is like quite small. And even like as he's kind of sitting around, he's like rolling his shoulders and like snorting and just sort of like grumbling to himself a little bit. There's Backhanded Jeb, who's bears a little bit of a resemblance to Isles, and kind of visually. Then I say,
And he just says things all the time like, you look really good for your age.
And then I think I also said Kreger, right?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
Kreger. So you see this guy who kind of limps out. He's very quiet, looking at all of you really furtively, like really watching you, like really fucking carefully. And then I say Topper was the last one.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a red-headed man who's like quite attractive.
I
And just
believe
sort
you
of
said he
looking
was
around.
hot.
I believe you said it was
Yep.
hot.
And Isles is like, just give me a minute. They're going to get Ismort. And it's maybe 4 or 5 minutes later when you see this. You know what? I think it's time.
Yay.
Hey.
Right.
Oh,
Oh, hello, sir.
hello.
Silver
he's
fox.
a
Yeah.
silver fox.
He's
He's
a
got
good-looking guy.
He's a
he's
human.
got kind of
Yeah,
human. He's got a bow and a sword. And a
Broken. Oh,
and-
no, it's just part of the.
Yeah, I had
Okay.
to crop the photo.
Yeah.
face scar kind of situation.
He's got really nice armor.
Got
Yeah,
really
like-
nice
like
armor.
chain or
Hair 7 of 10.
Yeah.
Kind of
Yeah, like long-ish.
long-ish, like nape of the neck kind of thing.
It's
Big
like-
I
beard.
know I'm not hair, but I'd give it 8 just because of the silver
Oh yeah,
foxiness.
what's the hair rating, Jane?
I said 7 of 10.
Oh, yeah.
sorry.
He reminds me a lot of Joel from The Last of Us, the video game.
Yeah.
Very
Mhm.
much looks like him.
I got Aragorn vibes as soon
Oh,
as I
for
was
sure.
sure.
Little bit?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I'm kind of disappointed that he's a bad guy and we're going to have to kill him.
I know.
Definitely a ranger because he's got that sword and the bow.
So he strides out. What
Is
all
this
of
his theme
you
music?
swaggering out, sashaying? No, he.
And he's like, hey, how you doing?
You bandit here often? No, so he walks out and it's like it's controlled, clipped steps. His head's down, like he looks like he's brooding constantly.
Yeah, he is Aragorn.
Comes out. What are you doing? What do you want?
Kicks a helmet.
I don't know you, but my men say you know the codes. You know the cant to get in here. What business have you here?
Well, we were with Cressel, and she died. Her camp was attacked, and she told us to come here.
Fuck, we haven't heard from her in a week or two.
Well, that's why.
And who are these?
Part of the attackers. Some of the attackers.
Was it Fig and Vic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. I hadn't heard in her last report, but she wasn't exactly erudite in her record keeping, but I guess none of us are. It's beside the point. So you have what? These two who attacked you and you want us to torture them to death or something?
Oh, we just thought we'd bring them as a sign of goodwill.
And you see Isles smile at that, like a wide tooth, a really calm one, just a big grin.
I mean, it's not up to us to decide, so.
Yeah.
What do you mean
She
it's not
told
up to you
us-
to decide? It's the whole fucking point of this.
I don't know. Apparently, for some reason, she said that these two needed to get taken straight to the Stag Lord himself.
So she said this, what, when she was being murdered?
Well, our camp was getting attacked, and she said she had some very important information. I don't know if we didn't know her well. We were just part of the group for a while, and honestly, we have nowhere else to go, so we thought we'd come here.
I want to understand this right. You were told you must get this very important information to
I don't know if
our
it was
king.
important. She just said, take these two to the Stag Lord while we were getting attacked.
I'm going to need a deception check. Now, I'm going to say you're still following the lead here. So you still get your level +2 plus your charisma.
That's a 28.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Natural 19.
Okay. He's like, all right, fine. It's not my place to question. I'm sorry. It's been, well, obviously it's been quite a bit. Getting word of so many dead is never helpful. Besides these
So
two, did you
many
come
dead?
empty-handed?
Is there more than Cressel?
You not heard?
No.
It doesn't matter. Do you come empty-handed outside of these two?
Of course not.
No, we got a cart full of stuff.
Where's your cart?
We've got it. We have the cart.
It's here.
You brought the whole cart.
Are
Like
you
with horses?
blind?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, okay. I thought you said you left like that stuff
No,
stacked.
we
No,
left.
what
We left
My
our
God.
important stuff
No.
back. Anything we don't want them to steal, we left
Okay.
with Svetlana and Oleg. And then this is just the stuff that we intended to kind of use for this and sacrifice to this anyway.
Okay.
We're
Yeah.
risking the drama?
No,
we did not
Nadrama's
bring
not
Nadrama.
here.
Oh, okay.
So you just left her tied to a tree for wolves?
She's at Svetlana and Oleg's.
She's with Claptrap.
Yeah.
Claptrap.
She's snuggled up with Claptrap. They're having tea. It's fine.
Netflix and chilling.
All right.
We're going to come back
He
and there's a
walks
little
around.
horse llama hybrid baby.
Oh my God, the drama.
He walks back around. All right, Fig, what have you brought?
Oh, right. Yeah. And she'll kind of like, whatever, if there's a little like tarp, like roll it up and be like some standard things that we had, some valuable items, things we've taken from others. There's a pretty decent
Weapons.
bottle of booze in there.
Oh. And you hear Topper like, well, it's a night to celebrate booze is back, boys.
Ooh. I like the
And
way you think, Topper.
It's more just like, it's not for you. Is this all you have? Is this the only booze you brought?
That's the only that we've come across. So, yeah.
Fine. You know the deal.
I'm not much of
We
a
don't-
drinker.
He's enough.
Deception.
Deception
Yeah,
check,
we
please.
need deception.
he mutters under his breath, he's enough of a drinker for all of us. And I'll take this back to him.
The morale here is really high.
Wait, is she straight up bringing the poisoned bottle of booze straight to the Stag Lord? Amazing.
Yeah. I rolled really high on my deception.
Hell yeah.
Can I roll something to assess this guy a little bit more? Like, his vibe seems a little off. Like, do you think that he's maybe, like, how all in is he on this whole Stag Lord
So
thing?
this is a sense motive.
Okay.
All right, so now you're going to be focusing more on sensing motive than deceiving. So what's your perception bonus?
7.
Yeah, something seems a little off about him. You don't know what intrinsically that would be, but you do sense that there is sort of an odd discomfort to him. Where's Nikolai's bow?
Can I-
On my back.
Can I have a prediction really quick about this guy?
Sure.
I think that he's not actually a bandit. He's some sort of, like, undercover cop. And he's
Undercover cop. Which one?
number
Number
2.
2?
Yeah. I think that he's, like, some
I think this is
undercover
wishful
guy.
thinking.
And he's, like, you know, like, oh yeah, okay, whatever. And then as soon as we start fighting the Stag Lord, he's going to be like,
Well, I hope that's
wait,
true.
I'm here to fight the Stag
He's a
Lord.
good undercover cop. He'll jump in.
Are you telling me you think he's a stag sergeant?
Wow.
And as he's walking back with the bottle of booze, he looks and sees he just sees the bow on your back. Where did you get that from?
I just kind of tack my thumb over to this dude.
Nikolai, and you see him like kind of blanch a little and like get white as he just like stomps back off into the building.
I look at each, like one of you, and just real quick, and then kind of look back down at the ground.
And Isles kind of looks at two of you like, well, I suppose bring them in. Dovin will know what to do with them, if nothing else. I'm sure his companion will have some fun.
All right.
I'm really worried about what torture I'm going to be.
Me too.
Yeah.
Let's bring him in.
So we're bringing him in.
Bringing him in.
This is a fun plan, right, you guys?
So Isles goes back up towards the watchtower, and the four other kind of walk with you, helping take them and some supplies back into this central room, and you kind of go into this main room of the Stag Lord's fort here. It's not huge. It's maybe 20, 25 feet across on the side, and it's kind of deep, and you can see where there's like the main stone masonry exterior has been split up by like wooden walls on the inside, where over time the plaster has worn away. And there's still some bits of plaster left over where the masonry is. And like a lot of this seems to have been like retrofitted from an old rundown fort to sort of make smaller rooms inside of it. So I'm going to give you that flavor text.
I just want to note that I am flabbergasted that for once the pretend to be prisoners gambit has actually paid off.
For once.
So
Well, it hasn't
Something we
quite
keep
yet, so
trying
we'll
over
see.
and over.
Yeah.
So you walk in, the edges of this drafty room are crammed with small goods. There's dirty bowls and utensils lying on the floor of packed dirt next to a few crumpled bedrolls, a chamber pot's tucked into a corner. Despite the draft, because there's not really doors to the front of it, there's just big open holes in the masonry where it looks like doors used to be. Despite the draft, there is still a notable stink of unwashed bodies and stale food that lies heavily in the air. You see on the western wall, so as you're coming in from the north, it'd be like on your right, there is a large iron gate. It looks like it used to be the gate to these palisades, maybe even the gate to the front door of this building, but it's been ripped off and it's wedged behind a 10-foot wide gap in the western wall where it looks like the masonry has fallen down, and there's like a little cave or a holding cell on the other side of that. Chips of ancient plaster flake from the walls, exposing the stone construction. Whatever plaster still clings to the stonework is covered with strange and erratic scribbles and pictographs. Hard-packed earthen floor, but in the southeast corner there is a pile of fallen rubble from the platform 20 feet above that blocks the passage to another room. So you came in from the north. You can see to the south where it sort of opens up into another like add-on construction of wood. It looks like maybe the wooden structure beneath one of the walkways above. On the left, there is like another wooden wall separating the room. And so the other part left is that southeast they're talking about, where like it looks like there was an entrance to another room and a cave-in from the ceiling has blocked that off. In this room, though, you do see another man who's just sitting back idly on a chair looking up at all of you while he's... What has he been doing here? Yeah, so he's sitting back and just sort of watching, seeing you all come in, quietly sharpening a knife. And he looks, it's time for it again.
Yay. Oh, God.
Oh, wow.
So,
Wait,
So he
Where
kind
to
of
start?
human.
You guys seen School of Rock?
Yeah.
When the guy at the very end has on that like halter, that leather halter.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that vibe.
Very like emo hair situation.
He looks like a
One
member
little-
of Death Clock.
Yeah, one little highlighter piece. Yeah, he's got like a leather crop top on.
Yeah.
I believe he said he was
A little
hot.
bit of mesh.
He looks like he's in a
something.
Finnish metal band.
A lot of
Yeah.
tattoos.
Ascot. He has an ascot on.
He does have an
Also a
ascot.
soul patch.
And a rapier.
Yeah, a soul patch.
Yeah, a bunch of daggers, belts, everything is
A
belted
ridiculous-
on.
so many belts.
Or
Of course.
buckler.
Some like little neck kerchief thing.
A lot of eyeliner.
Some really nice
a
earrings.
lot of eyeliner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But all black.
Mm-hmm. And looks pretty evil.
He's pretty pale.
Probably listening
Yes,
to
quite pasty.
My Chemical Romance in his earbuds.
Uh-huh.
For sure.
I was gonna say
feel
he
attacked.
looks like an MCR band member.
The Black Parade is pumping out of his ear.
When I was a young boy.
A young bandit.
And he sort of looks up at all of you, like like pulls back his lip from a little bit of it. And the other bandits kind of look around and they're like, Dovin, what you want us to do with these prisoners? It's like, well, I don't know. Leave them in the armory for he'll play with them.
Who's that?
Oh, you haven't met my compatriot? Well,
No, afraid not.
he's a jolly man. Enjoys the finer things in life. A good scream, the tear of flesh. Plays with them like his little toys he keeps up on the roof.
Sounds like a hoot.
Well,
Very pleasant.
why? Do you have something to say? Perhaps he'll enjoy a session with you next.
I just said he sounds delightful.
Oh, we're all fun here. You must be new.
People here are so touchy.
Uh-huh.
How dare you say that about me? I don't think we've been introduced.
I don't think so either.
And just stares at you like waiting
And
expectantly.
she stares back, smiling.
So he is going to attempt to intimidate you. No, he's not.
dear.
He's not actually going to do that.
Oh, I think he should try.
No, he's going to stop. He's like, fine. I'm Dovan Onisra.
That sounds familiar. No?
Do you want to make a society check?
Yeah.
I'll let you leave that open.
Yeah, I'm not very good in society, but
Yeah.
yeah, no, that's a fail. It's like an 8.
Okay. So you've heard of it. Nishrok is in Nidal.
Isn't that
Yeah,
like the
That
pain
totally
country?
makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, pain.
Yeah, it's basically,
from pain country.
It's if the creatures from Hellraiser ran a country.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Well,
Lovely.
Some weird peeps over that way.
Sounds like fun.
and sure enough, they then lead Arthur, and they take Arthur, and the other bandits take Arthur and Nikolai from you, and they lead you back out into the courtyard where everyone's seen you, and then sort of in the main opening on the north side of the building is sort of split by this wooden wall, and they lead the two of you into another room. And it looks like sort of an open air armory where this part of the roof has collapsed. There's a set of stairs that are going up to a platform that seem to connect to at least one of the watchtowers. There's a couple of closed chests in this room, and they're going to check your knots, and they're going to tie them to the stairs.
Can I do one? There was one thing I was going to do before we got ushered out of here, or like
Sure.
while we're walking up there with them.
Mhm.
I want to try to slip Arthur like one of the daggers that, and like whether it's into like a boot or like, I don't know, somehow just like pass off one of the, because you guys don't have any weapons right now, right?
Nope.
Yeah. So I'm going to try to give Arthur one of Biff's
Just
daggers.
his hands.
All right, so this is going to need to be a thievery check
Can
in
do.
order to pull this off. I have the DC of the people who are watching you.
21. Wait.
Can I aid with deception?
I'm going to say that this is only one. If too many of you are doing it, it becomes too obvious that there's too much attention being paid.
Okay. It's a 19.
Okay. You don't know if anyone perceived you
All right.
or not.
So I'm pretty sure that while they're trying to check our knots is when we're like,
Fuck that.
catch these hands, motherfucker.
Yeah.
I'm not letting my knots get tied up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say 2 of the bandits brought you back, and I think it's
And we're going to be like, God damn it, those people we captured are getting
Man,
away.
they're
Oh,
already
no.
Told
going.
you.
I'm going to say it's Nori and backhanded Jeb.
Aw.
That's the
Are
one
with
I
you.
wanted.
Oh,
And
with
sure
us?
enough, you
with
see
them.
you hear Nori. You hear Nori just like, oh, these, like the really small one. He's sort of like rolling his shoulders and like always when he's around you. These knots, Oh, good thing we checked him. This looks like shit. And you hear backhanded Jeb's like, well, yeah, those new ones, they're not all they look. Pieces of shit. I'm sure they're just bad at tying knots.
Nikolai's getting more and more pissed.
All right, so is it Arthur who stashed the dagger to, Jane?
Yes.
Okay. So, Arthur, I'm going to need you to roll your choice here of athletics or deception for initiative.
Definitely athletics.
So it'll be, can you burst out of your ropes quickly enough?
Mm-hmm,
You're going to take a minus, because you're choosing athletics.
Mm-hmm.
Now, don't roll yet. What are you going to choose to get out, Nikolai? Athletics or deception? Or if you have like a thievery, I'd also accept that to get out. Or I'll take acrobatics too.
I got some thievery.
You want to roll initiative with thievery?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here's the deal. Because you picked athletics, which should be the easiest, the knots were not perfectly tied. You're going to take a -2 on this initiative.
Okay.
So go ahead and pause this scene for there. We're going to go back into the main room. I'm going to say, what are the two of you taking in, Lucky and Ari, as you're kind of in this room with talking with Dovan, and that leaves with you with Topper and, God, I'm trying to remember all these fucking bandits. Topper and, who's the other one? Krager.
Topper, Krager, and Dovan are all in here.
Yes.
And number 2 took all of our stuff, including the poisoned booze.
No, he took the booze directly back
to the Stag Lord.
He went somewhere to the south. You don't know.
I think she'll just be like, so what's the deal with this place? Like, what's...
Yeah, what do you do?
What do
you do here?
How do you not know? We do what we want. We live how we choose. We're free here.
Where do you sleep?
And he looks around at the bedrolls on the fucking floor. What do you think?
That sounds miserable.
It's not fun, but I don't know what the fuck you want about it.
Couldn't afford
Must not be very good at banditry then. She says.
And you even see Dovan sort of roll his eyes on his breath. We can't all be number 2.
Oh, do you, what do you think of him? He seems like a rather impressive person. Honestly, he looks so strapping and capable.
I thought he looked like a temperamental asshole personally. But.
What? Oh, are you kidding? He was charming and strong looking.
Whoa, I think
You're not here.
So who's taking lead on what are you trying to accomplish here?
I want to get information out of him about like the dynamics of the bandits here.
So now this is going to take 10 minutes to do. We're not going to role play for 10 minutes about this, but how are you going to engage? Are you standing there? Talk to me about how you sort of connect on this front.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're just standing there talking to him. And I think what Ari's kind of going for is like trying to bait him a little, because she noticed the like snarky, like, oh, we can't all be like him. And it's like, I think she wants to kind of like bait that by being like, oh, he looks so impressive. And like Lucky's like playing off of it with the like, oh, I thought he looked like an asshole. We're kind of like almost good cop, bad copping this guy about the number 2.
And so who's leading this
Probably
check?
Lucky.
Sure.
And what would you say your desired outcome here of possibly successful checks are?
I think we're just trying to glean information. I mean, in a perfect world, we can maybe sow some discourse, but I think mostly we're just looking to see like, what is the hierarchy here? Who falls where?
Yeah, could we like bait him a little bit about his role here?
We're new recruits, but what does that mean exactly? Does that mean like we're lower on the totem pole? Or if we just kind of hold our own?
Also, I think I would kind of like to know where like the actual location of the Stag Lord on this compound is. Like, where is his office or where does he hang out?
I mean, that'd be a pretty bold and obvious ask, but okay.
Yeah, but I think like kind of by talking about number 2, who's like obviously going to liaise with him, we're trying to kind of figure that out.
Yeah, totally. All right. Let's see.
Don't have to be so judgy.
Hey. All right. Here's what I'm interested in knowing. A couple of things. Jane, make your aid check. What skill do you think you're using to aid?
Can I do performance?
No. Performance is very much like singing, dancing, storytelling. It is entertaining, not convincing or pushing.
I mean, so in that case, is there anything I can do besides deception?
Diplomacy, intimidation. Those are options. I think diplomacy is entirely possible.
Yeah, I'll do diplomacy.
All right, roll an aid with diplomacy. It's a little higher here, so I have the DC here. DC 17 is the aid.
patch.
Oh, shit.
Jane's gonna roll.
You know what? All right, whatever. I'll take it.
What is it?
Hold on. 16.
So that's a fail.
Terrible math.
You're not aided. You're all on your own.
All right.
Okay.
He hates
Give
me.
this deception
hates
check.
It's because you called him a silver fox. He doesn't like him.
Yeah. So give me this deception check. It's fun stuff.
Lucky
Yes.
has
Oh,
passion in the
Your
patch.
giant stash of patches
Yeah.
over here.
Yeah, you
That
might
was a
need
drop.
it.
That was not a roll. I might need it. Okay, that's better. I'll take that.
What do you got?
24.
He's like, ugh. And he gestures to the south where it looks like, I told you, like there's sort of a room that was added on that looks like it was just built underneath another walkway platform.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's sort of nothing of a man. He's only been here for a few months and already, and once again, sort of gesturing to the south, southwest now, already he's so taken with everything about him. He's shit, though, really. Ugh. And he looks at you and he says it, not worth any attention at all.
I agree.
No one of actual substance or style.
Who does have substance and style around here?
And he looks, that you have to ask is insulting.
Besides you, of course.
Besides me, there's no one really. That's why you
Not
come
even
here.
the Stag Lord. We've heard so much about him.
Okay, now we're going to cut away. Hey, Jared, I've got a really, really important question.
Sure.
What's the DC for the centipede venom?
That's a great question. I will have to look. Give me
giant
one
centipede
second. Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I think it's been enough time.
Probably like 15.
Well, that's
Ding
going to be
dong.
bad news.
Motherfucking Stag
Yeah,
Lord is dead.
it's probably not.
Okay, if that actually works, I am
I'm
going to
okay
be
if
so
Nikolai dies in here
excited.
if that works. That's how cool
If that
it is.
works, we all
17?
deserve 25 patches.
Looks like 17.
Ooh, yeah?
That's
Okay.
what it looks like.
All right, so I'm gonna make a roll. This is a very
Can we
important
patch
roll.
you in
Probably like
advance so that you
It's
have
probably like a
disadvantage?
plus 14 or something crazy.
So it's at exactly this time that you hear a bellowing roar and a door slam
Stop.
open as you hear an unearthly, I'm trying to think of the right word. It's unearthly. It's uncomfortable. It seems unnatural.
Like uncanny almost.
Roar. Assassins. And at the same time that you hear a door to the south of you slam open, every single bandit's hand goes to the blade at their side.
Me too.
Yeah, me too.
But you also hear a deep growl from behind that gate on the west side of the room, and a shape bigger than any horse or bear move in the darkness. Tune in next time when I'm probably going to have to wear my green room shirt again.
Oh no! Did we get him?
I think we got him.
The Live to Die podcast is a production of Live to Die Gaming. Follow us on social media at Live to Die Pod. Leave a review and tune in next week for more. If you like the amazing background audio and music, all that credit goes to Syrinscape. Make sure you check them out at Syrinscape.com.